So I got a good response yesterday from my Bristlecone sex talk, so I'll do part 2 today. So let's get started. Let's talk about why bristlecones live so dang long. So if the average bristlecone actual cone produces about 150 seeds, here is a seedling. This sprout is already 2 years old. So if one cone produces 150 seeds, and each tree each season produces several hundred cones, you can do the math to figure out how many seeds a single tree can produce in one summer. But the seedlings are extremely fragile. We spent an entire season searching for seedlings on 1 acre of land and only found 6. And out of those 6, none survived the winter. A bit far away, but this is an adolescent bristlecone. It's only about 3.5 feet tall and already between 30 and 40 years old. Looks can be quite deceiving with bristlecones. Unlike redwoods and sequoias, size does not mean age. We've dated a 5-foot tall bristlecone at 750 years old. These adolescent bristlecones, tall, skinny, covered in bark, are between 500 and 1,000 years old, depending on how close they are to water sources. This is an ancient bristlecone. The tree in front of you is about 3,000 years old. Notice the root exposure and the living and dead portions. I'm standing just a few hundred feet away from Pine Alpha. Pine Alpha was the first 4,000-year-old living tree ever discovered. I can't show it to you, it's completely classified. So bristlecones have the unique ability to have living and dead portions. As erosion takes place, their roots lose access to nutrients and water, and they shut parts of themselves down. Notice this tree is mostly dead, but still has living portions. It still has green on it. That means it still has an active root, an active piece of strip bark, and an active branch. It still produces cones and seeds every year. Because bristlecones grow so slowly, their wood becomes super dense. This is a dead tree. We can have dead trees and wood laying on the ground for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. Our oldest pieces of dead wood in the forest date back 11,000 years in age. Bristlecones are so well adapted to their environment that they actually outlive their environment and is ultimately their demise. Erosion is the #1 killer of bristlecones. These are the sentinel trees. There are 2 most photographed trees in the forest. They see between 40 and 60,000 human guests every year. This tree is a living tree at 3,500 years old. So, when are you planning your trip? Thanks for joining me.